A few months ago, I released a video talking about the potential for investing in Crown Zenith, how I thought it was one of the best investments to make. Prices were going up crazy. They ended up leveling out and then dropping over the past little while. I think mostly with news of that C and Skybox coming to Sam's Club. Ever since, a lot of these cards have dropped in price, which made me want to revisit Crown Zenith, go over the top singles and the sealed product, and try to determine if now is like the best time or your last chance to really dive into Crown Zenith and make the big investments while it's still at a good price. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As I just mentioned, we're going over Crown Zenith today. Personally, I think it is the best modern TCG set we've had. There are other great sets, 151's great. If you go back even farther, sets like Cosmic Eclipse are awesome, Hidden Fates. But Crown Zenith, in my opinion, really summed up everything that the Sword and Shield era had to offer. Sword and Shield is going to go down as one of the most iconic eras of the TCG ever, I think. So many people came back into the hobby at that time. So many young people were getting into Pokemon at that time as well. COVID, the pandemic. It's always going to be remembered for a lot of different things. The popularity of alt arts, the trainer galleries, the last era of yellow borders, and Crown Zenith, the last set with yellow borders. There were really some amazing sets and cards that were released. And like I just said, Crown Zenith kind of summed that all up into one set. So let's dive into Crown Zenith, go over some of the sealed product and the top 10 singles. The cards themselves haven't really changed much. The order a little bit, but prices have been affected a good bit, enough to kind of discuss and see if now is the time to pick up these cards while you still can. So first up, I guess let's talk about the elephant in the room here, the Sea and Sky box coming to Sam's Club, or I guess already out in Sam's Clubs. We don't have Sam's Club in Canada. It came here for a bit, didn't really succeed. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a way for Canadians to be getting this box, which is crappy for people like myself. I would love to pick one of these up, but I don't know. Going for 40 USD, $39.98, that breaks down the pack price to about $2.85 before tax, which is insane. You're getting 14 packs in here for $40. Now, $40 seems really, really cheap, which it is. If you look at TCG Player, it's going for $71. I don't know how many people are buying it on like resale in the secondary market. It's probably people like myself, people outside of America, or people that don't have a Sam's Club that really want this for a sealed collection. I love Rayquaza. I love Kyogre. I would love this product, but don't think it's going to happen. I don't want to pay $70 for it. I got enough Crown Zenith sealed for my liking. Crazy product. It's going to drive down the pack price. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to drive down the singles as well. It's kind of like a holiday thing. So a lot of people are going to be ripping into this. Cheap packs. It's definitely going to affect the set in general in terms of value. If a lot more of these kind of high value singles get on the market, it's going to drive the price down a little bit, at least temporarily, which is why I'm making this video. I feel like a lot of these good cards are going to drop in price, or at least level out where they are now. I think it's kind of a good time to keep an eye on it and make jumps in. If there's any cards you still need, like the gold cards or the Mewtwo, they're going to go up eventually. So over the next few months is kind of the time to take a look at it. From there, we can talk about the ETBs. They dipped quite a bit a little while ago, down to $47, but they're back up to 50. Not too many changes there. I think they'll be pretty steady. I don't see these getting reprinted or like pushed onto the market much more. I think what's out is what's out. I picked up a bunch of these recently for like pretty cheap. I think I paid like 55 Canadian for them, which is like 40 USD. I picked up like 4 of them, opened one just for fun. Managed to pull that Hisuian Zoroark Galarian Gallery card. I made a short about it. Check it out if you like. Opened it up in a kayak. Managed to not damage the cards. They didn't get wet. Thumbs up for that. Leave a like. But anyways, ETBs, pretty steady. I don't think they're going to go up anytime soon. If you want them, $50 isn't too bad. You get 10 packs. You get that cool Lucario promo. Nice box as well. The Pokemon Center ETBs, they've kind of been up and down. Not much movement realistically. It's in like a $5-10 range here. Right now, they're going for about 117, which isn't bad. These won't get reprinted, It's a nice box. It's a different size. I don't know if you've seen the Pokemon Go PC ETB. They're a little longer. Weird shape, but this box looks really nice on display. It's got a really cool gold kind of pattern in the background that all the Crown Zenith sets have, that like diamond crown thing going on. Looks really nice. It's a ETB Plus, so a little bit different than just the regular Pokemon Center ETBs, but really nice display piece. I should really get one out, put it up here on the wall somewhere. Maybe we'll have that for the next video. But yeah, not too much movement on the ETBs. Like I said, this Sea and Skybox kind of just came out recently, so we're going to see movement. I don't know if it's going to affect ETBs too much, but if you want to get, your best bang for your buck, try to get your hands on these at Sam's Club. From there, diving into the top 10 singles, we'll just look at the last 6 months, let's say. You've got Entei at number 10. It was going upwards of like 25 bucks around the time I made that last video when everything was at its high. It's since settled. Like most of these cards, you're going to see a slow decline over the last 4 months, maybe since about May. 6 months ago, it was going for 15 bucks. Obviously, that was like February. People were focused on the alt art craze. Everyone was jumping in on that, getting 151 stuff, all that. But yeah, spiked up $25 since, has kind of settled down. Nothing has really returned to what it was 6 months ago, but I think there's a chance. $18 right now. I think it could go down a little bit more, but if you want this card, all of these cards, I'll say it now at the beginning, I think now is probably a good time to get in. You could wait a little longer. I don't think they're going to go up, much anytime soon, at least not until 2025 in my opinion. But yeah, great card, great price right now. You also got the Raikou here at number 9. Very similar price. This one's $19. It hit a high of like 24 bucks. Again, middle to end of May there. It's not really up much. 6 months ago it was 17. It's up $1. Again, I could see this one dipping a little more. It's my favorite of the 3 dogs. I think you should get all of them. They're awesome cards. They're awesome Pokemon. But yeah, again, $18.75. It might go down a little bit more, but keep an eye on it. All these cards, keep an eye on them if you want them. Now's probably your time. The Suicune here, it's going for 20 bucks. It has not dipped as much. It kind of leveled out pretty quickly. It was going for a high of 30, not much more than it's going for now. I don't know if any of these cards really have potential to hit like 100 bucks just because there's so many of them out there. Not nearly as hard to pull some of these as like an alternate art. I don't know about the gold cards. I've probably opened 200 packs at Crown Zenith, no gold cards myself. Few Suicunes, few Enteis. But yeah, right now, 20 bucks. It's been pretty steady at about $20 for the last 2 months almost now. You've got the Glaceon coming in here next. This one got pretty expensive out of nowhere. It was like almost within a week. It went from $20 to $43. Since it has just kind of steadily dropped, sitting at 21 right now. It's recovered a little bit. It went from 21 to 22, but now with that C and Skybox with all these packs on the market, I think it's going to stay around $20 for a little while. But this is one that has good potential. I think this and the Leafeon, of course, their evolutions are going to go up. Keep an eye on this one. I'd say grab it sooner than later if you still need it. Speaking of evolutions, Leafeon is next. A little more expensive at $25. This one has kind of trickled down. It was spiking back up and up and down. It went up to 43 bucks, has since, dropped $25. It's gone down almost $20 in about 3 months here. Awesome card. I don't have this one yet, so this is one I'm probably going to pick up at one of these trade shows coming up here in September. And again, with some of these cards, I think if you can get some really good raw copies and send some of these out for PSA 10s, the return is really, really good on them. We'll get to that in a second with the Mewtwo. But anyways, next we're getting into the gold card territory, Origin Form Dialga. This card has dropped quite a bit as well. It spiked up. We'll look at the 1 year for this. For a long time, it was going for between $30 and $35 for about 6 months. If you're looking at the 1 year, the first 6 months of this 1 year graph. Then it just, slowly doubled in price over the course of a month. Went for about $62 at its high, probably a little more in some cases, but has since dropped off 43 bucks now. Again, I don't know if Dialga's obviously not everyone's favorite because it is the 4th out of the 4 gold cards on the list. Cool card though. It's still up from what it was 6 months ago, 7 months ago. It might go down a little bit more. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know if any of these are really going to drop to where they were sitting a year ago. Some of them might. I think this one has a chance to. I'm glad I didn't pick it up. I still need this one. Like I said, no gold cards. I really want to finish Crown Zenith, so I might have to pick some of these up while they're at a good price right now. A lot of cards in the market are just down in general, so if you're looking to pick anything up, over the next 3 months leading up to Christmas, Pokemon's going to flood the market with all these sets, Stellar Crown, Surging Sparks. They're going to be teasing whatever the January set is, the March set, before Christmas. So if you need any singles, I think the market's going to be in panic mode about what's to come. People are going to be selling their stuff to get money to get, be able to purchase more of these cool sets. So if there's anything that's straggling that you need from Sword and Shield or beginning, Scarlet and Violet, the next 3 months will be your time to make that leap into any of those products or singles. Next up, Palkia. It hasn't really gone down much from where it was 2 months ago. It hit its high of, just under $70, about 68 bucks. A year ago, it was 33, so it doubled in price in that crazy week or two we had for Crown Zenith there. Since it's returned to 45, so not bad. But this card, I think there's potential for it to go down a little bit more, just like the Dialga. If you need it, keep an eye on it. I'd expect it to hit about 40 bucks. All right, Mewtwo now. This is my favorite card from the whole set. Mewtwo is amazing. There's a few other standouts. I really like the Hisuian Zoroark. I really like the Samurott V-Star. Beautiful cards. But Mewtwo, amazing. Right now, it's going for about $57. It was going for $70. Actually, all of May, it was pretty steady at about $70. But it's dropped, 57 bucks. I think this one has the best chance of like not really being affected. I think it's going to stay steady, and I think this card will eventually be a $100 raw card. Matter of time though, not now, not next year, maybe by the 30th anniversary there going into 2026 or something like that down the line. This one has potential. It's an amazing card. The low it's been over the last year has been $45. I don't think it's really going to go below 50 again. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be affected too much by this flood of packs on the market, this flood of singles we're going to have. But let's compare it to a PSA 10, a raw copy. Let's look at USD here on price charting. So a raw copy, like I just said, about $57, $58. Maybe get it cheaper. I'm seeing sales on eBay for $56, $55. Some sucker bought it for $125, it looks like. I don't know. But the PSA 10, is consistently going for about $130, $140 right now. It was going for quite a bit more at one point. It's hitting closer to 200 USD, $175. It's leveled out a bit. Like, it's always going to follow, but it's more than double the price of a raw copy. Like, this is a great card. Like, if you want to grade some cards to flip, there's potential here. If you can buy a bunch of these, like, it's a cheaper card, right? You're not buying like a $200 alternate art. You could buy like 3 of these at $58, $60, we'll say. With this card, if you successfully graded a 10, you're up almost 60%. Like, it's pretty good. If you can pick these copies, if you get a good eye for good near mint cards that are going to be PSA 10s, this is a great one to pick up, grade it, flip it. You're going to double your money after the grading fee, most likely. That is if it's a 10. Don't be buying off-center copies and sending a bunch of them in. But honestly, I think this is a good one to pick up. Like I said, I don't think it's going to go down much more. If it does, it's not going to affect it much. I doubt it's really going to go below 50. It might hit 50, but the price it's at right now, $140, we'll say, for a PSA 10. I think that could go up eventually. I think this card could be a $200 PSA 10. I really have faith in this Mewtwo card. It's a strong contender. Nicer than the gold cards, in my opinion. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Pick it up if you still need it. And try to get that PSA 10 if you want. Next up, Arceus. Personally, I like the Arceus more than the Giratina, I think. But all these cards are really cool. Pretty much every card in Crown Zenith is really cool. Like, what can I say? This is a great set. But this card spiked up drastically. It was actually going for $100 back in May. It's hit its 1-year low of about 50. So it doubled in price at a certain point there. It fell off hard, though. It hasn't returned to $50, but it's sitting at about 65 right now. Again, I think there is a chance it's going to drop. There aren't a lot of like big gold card fans. I think people like these alternate art gold cards that we have, which, I mean, they are the coolest gold cards we've got. I think they'll be strong, like very strong cards in the future. In the immediate future, I don't think they're really going to be seeing growth up to $100 again anytime soon. I don't think we're going to see this crazy spike. This one I think will drop a little more. I think there's a chance we'll see Mewtwo at number 1 on this list, at least go up from number 3 where it's been sitting for like ever, it seems. But yeah, $65. Good purchase right here. It's like barely moved, I guess. If you look at it a year ago, it was going for $65. It's down from the 1 year, but not by much. Next up, Giratina. Giratina is still over $100. I think it's just because that alt art really made a huge impact on Giratina. People like Giratina to begin with. I don't really have any connection to Giratina as a Pokemon. I don't even think it's really that cool. Maggie said it was just like a house centipede, like some worm thing. Not a fan. She hated it. Myself, I didn't pull the chase Giratina. I don't think I have any cool Giratina cards. I think the focus is more on the setting of where the Pokemon is rather than Giratina itself. Cool card. I'd rather the Mewtwo any day. But a year ago, it was going for like $90. It spiked up to 140 just about. Again, in that craziness we had in May. And this one didn't really go back down too much. Like, it hasn't dipped below 100 since. It hit about $100, but it's gone back up slightly to 108. If it's going to go below $100, it's going to be now over the next month or two, I'd say. So keep an eye on it if you really want it. I don't really see it dropping much. It might trickle over like the course of a year or two, but I feel like it's going to be steady around that $100 mark for a while. I don't think the community is going to really let it drop much. Like, we were seeing like consistent sales, even going up to like $100 here. And like, over the last few months, like it's selling consistently at $100. The price hasn't really been going down at all. It's steady. And I mean, if people are willing to pay $100 for this card, why would you sell it for 80 bucks? Like, I don't think it's really going to be affected too much by this reprint. Like I said, there's a couple cards here. Giratina and Mewtwo are the major ones in my opinion. Leafeon and Glaceon as well. I think there's a chance they'll be affected a little bit, but I think those are kind of the four standout cards in my opinion where if you can see a good price on them, grab them because I don't think they're really going to go down much. Other cards, you know, like the Entei, the Suicune, stuff like that. Anything that's outside of the top 10, I think is going to go down, you know, a good little bit, maybe 10, 20% over the course of the next 3 months. I'd say, you know, with Crown Zenith, now is the time. I've been picking up sealed product. It's probably the set that I have the most array of sealed product of. You know, I have a lot of Evolving Skies because that's kind of a no-brainer. Crown Zenith, I felt like it was a no-brainer and it was really cheap to buy, whereas Evolving Skies was never really that cheap. Everyone knew from the get-go that was going to be an amazing set, and it hasn't disappointed. In terms of investments, that's just like, you know, a no-brainer. Like I just said, it's been amazing. Crown Zenith, I think, is going to take longer to see that trajectory, I guess. I don't think it'll ever be what Evolving Skies is, but I think it has potential to be up there with like a Lost Origin, you know, right there in the contention of like the top like 3 or 4 sets of the whole Sword and Shield era in terms of value. It's just going to take a while because it was mass printed. It's the newest of them all. It's also a holiday set, you know, no booster box, so you're not going to have that one product that's worth a ton of money. But Crown Zenith, definitely a great set and definitely one that's worth watching and investing in. So pay attention. Like I just said, now is the time. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment below. Let me know if Crown Zenith is the best set of the Sword and Shield era. And if it's not, what set is better? You know, there's going to be some Evolving Skies fans out there for sure. Lost Origin, I don't know. Crown Zenith, pretty sweet. All right, time to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.